Hey everyone, this is Mike from Mike's Do It Yourself. Today I want to show you how to add a rain barrel to a rain gutter system. Now the first thing that I did was buy a rain barrel, and you can get these at home improvement stores or online. And this one I actually found at wayfair.com, and this one ran under $100. Now the nice thing about this one was that I bought the all dark colored one, and it was about $30 or $40 cheaper than a light colored one, and I just used a $3 or $4 can of spray paint to cover up the dark color. I believe this is a sandstone color. And here's some of the tools that I will be using: drill bit, socket, cutters, grinder with a cutoff wheel, and those two bricks there. And this is the downspout that I will be disassembling or taking apart. And that's where I'll be putting the rain barrel. So right now it's just running into a little catch basin there, or a water diffuser. And so after you get it painted, you'll want to put the base where it should go. Oh, and this is just showing where how it's all assembled. You'll have to put the bottom drain faucet on and then paint it if you like. And that is an overflow up at the top. So if you don't have an overflow off to the side, you can have it just drain out the top if it overflows. And those are that side right there. And on the other side, that's where you can put it. And I'll show you the plug that can go in there. Now that's the back side, so it'll fit flush against your wall. So I ended up moving all these rocks, the little catch basin or water diverter there. And then I ended up removing the bottom piece of the downspout here. And I knew I was going to put a rain barrel there, so I didn't screw it in to anything. I just put those two brackets in that main centerpiece there, so I've got to take the screws out of that. So that's how the top was connected. And there's the top bracket. So after you get that centerpiece on, you'll go ahead and set your base, because you want to elevate it. And the reason for that is because you have that spout at the bottom. So to use your rain barrel, you'll need to get to that spout at the bottom of your rain barrel. So with these 8x8x16 blocks, I'm able to elevate that rain barrel enough to use the faucet or the spout at the bottom. And I'm just trying to line up the midsection or the middle. And I did this a few times, just putting the rain barrel on and trying to line up the two blocks. and using the level, because I wanted it to go a little away from the house. That way the water wouldn't splash back towards the house. And I wanted to make sure that the blocks were sloped, away from the house. So the bricks were a little too close to the house, and they sloped a little bit too far down. So you'll see I added some dirt in the front of that. And here I am just getting a feel for the size of that midsection. And here I am adding a little dirt to the front to level those bricks a little better. So once I got it sloped the way I wanted it, I'll go ahead and fill in the bricks, and that way you don't have spiders or bugs taking up residence inside the bricks. And you can fill them with whatever you want. I just had dirt on hand, so I filled them up with dirt. So this measurement is just to see how long I need that middle section before that curved downspout gets attached. Here I'm making a mark at the edge of that bottom piece, because I know that midsection is going to have to fit inside of that bottom piece. So I'll measure from that top section down to that line. I come up with about 54 inches. And so I know I needed 1.5 inches and 1.5 inches on either side to add. That way the top piece would fit over, well, the midsection top piece would fit over the very top piece. And then at the bottom, the curved piece would fit inside of the midsection, if that makes sense. So there's many ways to cut this. You could use a hacksaw, the grinder, cutoff wheel work great for me. One thing you don't want to do though, when you flip this over, you don't want to really cut the seam with the grinder because it heats it up quite a bit and it could separate the seam. So I ended up cutting just up to the seam, and then I used some snips to finish the cutting. Because I did cut a whole section on other parts of the gutter with the cutoff wheel, and the seam did separate when I tried to push it into another section. So that's how it looks. I just need to tighten up the bracket screws and push it into the very top there before I put the screw into the side or the front of it. And they're just small screws. They're maybe a 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch screws. So this is the finished product, or the way I want it to look. So I'll go ahead and drill a hole in that bottom section and attach it with the screw. Now I have to take the screen off, and there's just one screw on each side to take off. And that way I can put the overflow tube off to the side. I didn't want it running down the front of the rain barrel, so it'll go through this hose connection once I drill a hole into the side of the barrel, and it'll go into the hose and just down onto the ground. And that's if the rain barrel catches more than the capacity of the rain barrel. Now here's the instructions for the hose barb. Just make a hole in it, put the piece into it, tighten it up. And here I am making a bigger hole into the side. And there's the hose barb. So you'll just take the O-ring off. The O-ring goes to the inside once you get the hole the right size that you need. And you just tighten up the collar inside of it, or the plastic nut. Now this hose ran about $30 at the home improvement store. If you have a old hose that could fit on there, I'd recommend that. but that's the way it looks at the end. So you can also have that overflow tube go to another rain barrel if you are in a place that has a lot of rain. But this is the way it looks at the end. Well, I hope this has been helpful. This has been Mike from Mike's Do It Yourself. Good luck on your next home or automotive project. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and comment.